Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone who teach you well, peace and infinite salutations to your elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother of Al Gabar from the Company of Prophets here in Tampa, Florida, coming at you with a lesson. Really an in-transit, an impromptu, a righteous rant. You know, the Spirit just compelled me to, just put the video on and speak on it. Any scriptures that come to mind, Baba Kushad, drop them in the chat. I'm going to be quoting a lot of scriptures. As you see, I'm in transit. I'm not going to be grabbing scriptures. I'm just going to be quoting. But you see the title of the lesson is, it's more than doing videos and going to camp. The inward man. And really that's what this truth is all about, is being renewed day by day on the inward man. And we've seen over the years guys come into this thing 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, and they end up going back to the world. And these individuals, look, they did their videos, they had edifying videos. They came to camp, they were at camp on time. But what they lacked was bearing fruit, all right? The fruits of the Spirit, okay? The inward man being renewed. Actually, the word is supposed to cleanse you and wash you, man. And this is why the scriptures say, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. And this is what we have to do more and more, especially coming into the time of the Passover. Jake falling out, bugging out, going back to the world, surrendering, and it's scary, man. And the scary part is that you can do 1,000 videos, you can go to be at camp on time, but the Lord is looking at who you are on the inside at the end of the day. Like the scriptures say, and I quote this scripture a lot, there is one that is wise and teaches many and yet is unprofitable to himself. We have to be profitable to ourselves. We have to, the first person you should teach is yourself. All right? How are you going to the highways and hedges? Are you doing 1,000 lessons, but you're not even applying the word yourself? And what happens is sooner than later, if you're not bearing fruit, the fruits of the Spirit, that is, being renewed inwardly, becoming a new creature in Yahweh Shai, if you're not doing that, the Lord ultimately is just going to cast you out, man. The Lord's going to plague you with demons. The scriptures say that, the tree that beareth not fruit is going to be cast into the fire. All right? And we see it time and time again. Guys, they be on fire. Well, they appear to be on fire. Because really, if you're not bearing fruits of the Spirit, if you're not, being renewed on the inward man, if you're not changing as a man, to better yourself as a man of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, if you're not growing in the Spirit, I don't care if you do 1,000 videos. If you go to camp on time every week, if you're not growing, you're really not in this thing. And sooner than later, you're going to be cast out. This truth is about growing, man. The scriptures say, grow in the grace thereof. We're supposed to grow in this truth as men. And we all have things we all need to work on. But we got to make sure that we're working on them, okay? And the body, man, it's a privilege to be a part of the body. The body of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And I'm thankful, that, the beloved brothers of Great Millstone Tampa, they help us out, man. They give us all the edification. We see them. We try to see them once a week, go see those brothers. And they give us all the information that we need to work on ourselves, man. So I'm thankful, to be a part of that body, man, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the water. But the biggest part of this truth is really growing as men and women and children, you know, growing in this truth, man. You only playing yourself if you're not examining yourself, man. You're only playing yourself in the long run, man. You can do 1,000 videos, you can go to camp, but if you're not really growing in this truth on the inward man, who you are on the inward, the Lord will cast you out, bro. And that shit is scary as fuck. You can't be a hypocrite. You can't be an actor, man. You can't. Look, you cannot fake it till you make it in this truth, man. You cannot fake it till you make it. You actually have to work on yourself daily. The inward man is supposed to be renewed day by day, as the scriptures say. Though the outward man perish, the inward man is renewed day by day. But you got jakes that are in this truth, claim to be in this truth. They do videos. They got 3 videos a week. You know, they showing up to camp. But the inward man is not right. The fruits of the spirit is not there. You're not really growing in this thing. And that shit should put fear in you, man. It puts fear in me, man. You know? And you got tons of examples in Israel that have been here 10 years, 15 years, edifying lessons. I mean, brothers' lessons I watched, edifying. And then they end up back in the world, bugging out, calling on different names, you know, changing the doctrine up. Some guys just give up completely. And really it's because those guys were not right from the beginning to start. Okay? You didn't come to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with a, you know, fervently, with a pure heart. You know? So we got to constantly examine ourselves, man. We got to bear fruit. We got to bear the fruits of the Spirit. And shalom to the brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom, shalom. And I pray you brothers really take this message, man, and get the understanding of the fruits of the Spirit. You know, the inward man. Anybody can put on a video and mock what the elder apostles say, or mimic, be a master regurgitator. But then when the camera's off, who are you? How do you hold yourself? How do you walk? You know, are you walking as the light of the world? Are you, are you just a nigga, man? It's more than doing videos. It's more than going to camp. It's more than the outward. It's more than what the eyes can see. Okay, there's a spiritual war taking place every day. There's a spiritual battle that we have to fight individually. Okay? And you have to look within we have to look within ourselves, man. Every day you got to look within ourselves. And sometimes, it's scary, bro, because hey, the body is such a blessing to have brothers, man, because brothers will tell you, we know that the Lord speaks through his prophets, so the Lord will have it to where a man of the Lord or a prophet comes to you and tells you, hey, brother, you need to work on this, man. You've been slacking here right here, man. And it's up to you to really acknowledge that, to confess that, and to work on it, and to grow, okay? To put off the old ways, to put on a new creature. You got to put off the old man. But the scary part is, because the Lord is merciful, man, so he'll show you mercy time and time again. He'll have a brother come to you and tell you, hey, brother, you need to work on this, man. You need to work on this. Hey, you need to, do this better. You need to stop doing this, stop doing that. Whatever it may be, to help. And really that's love. But if you're not taking the reproof, Proverbs 29:1, he that being often reproved harden his neck. Roughly paraphrasing. He that being often reproved harden his neck. You're not taking the reproof. Ultimately, you just, you're being rebellious. The Lord will cast you away, man. So we have to be mindful too. If you keep getting rebuked on the same thing over and over and over and over again, you better catch it, because that's the Lord talking to you, telling you. And if you don't fix that, the Lord will cast you away. He will throw you out. The Lord doesn't need none of us. He don't need none of us. And we come into the time of the Passover. And during this time, every year, there's a sifting process. Jake gets sifted. All right? So we got to be mindful of that and look within ourselves. Don't be the guy that's just quick to rebuke others. You know, you just a rebuke king. You just love the rebuke. But as soon as the rebuke comes to you, you can't take it. Or you say, oh yeah, I understand, dog, I understand. But you're not doing nothing about it. Don't be a guy like that. Don't do that shit. You just playing yourself. At the end, because sooner or later, if you just keep that same spirit of being complacent and not growing, the Lord's just gonna put demons on you and bug you out. Have you back in the world calling on a different name or just not doing the work at all. And that shit is scary, bro. This is why we must fear Yahweh Shemi Awashai. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. Make sure you're in order. And whole time you're not in order, man. That's a hypocrite. And the hypocrites have their part in that lake of fire, man. So we don't want to be a hypocrite in the long run. You don't want to be found out to be a hypocrite. So you gotta look at yourself, man. You gotta make sure that you right. Like Yahweh Shai said, you know, if you're trying to cast the mote out of your brother's eye, the beam in your brother's eye, you better cast the beam that's in your own eye first. You better look at yourself. Make sure one of the biggest parts, one of the biggest things, man, is working on ourselves daily. Do not get complacent. Do not get comfortable with just doing lessons and going to camp. But as soon as the cameras are off, you just a nigga. You the same person you was when you came into the truth. The only thing that's different is you don't eat pork no more. You know? you put your fringes on Saturday when you go to camp. But concerning your character and your conduct, you still the same person you was in the world, in high school or in college. You the same person. You the same person that you was. Beautiful. Naiquam. Proverbs 15:32. He that refuses instruction. Let me see. Let me make it bigger so I can see. He that refuses instruction despite his own soul, but he that hears reproof getteth understanding. And the scriptures say, with all thy getting, get understanding. Get knowledge. With all thy getting, get understanding. You have to understand. It's one thing to know something, and to be able to speak on it. It's another thing to really understand. Okay, to really understand the prophecies, to understand what we're a part of, to understand the inward man, the fruits of the spirit, how you should conduct yourself. Alright, and that takes experience, going through shit. Alright, but we gotta constantly work at the inward man. Alright, don't be so caught up in being complacent with just doing videos and going to camp, and then all throughout the week you just some nigga. And then for the women, you say you in the truth, put the head wrap on, but you still act like a bitch. You still act like Keisha or Shirley. The truth, Yahweh Shemi Awashai, the Holy Spirit, should transform you. You should be transformed. You should be renewed daily, and it's a daily battle. Even the man you were yesterday should be changed. Every day you should be trying to find different faults and things within ourselves that we can work on to better ourselves. Because guess what? Yahweh Shai is coming back, man. And we are supposed to be made perfect, concerning our inward man. We're not going to be perfect in keeping all the laws, but in our inward man and our conduct, we got to be perfect, man. We got to really look within ourselves. Alright? And shit, man. It's a daily battle. Certain brothers have issues with patience. Certain brothers have issues with lust. Certain brothers have issues with speech. Your communication. And we got to catch ourselves, man. One thing I have a problem, I'm still working on daily, is patience, being patient, you know, just suffering shit, being able to just sit there and wait and suffer, you know. And I can confess that, and that's the first stages to overcoming something. Is before you can overcome a problem or die. Look, if you got an issue, I'm getting excited. If you got an issue in the car, right, or you got engine brake, check engine light came on, the first thing you got to do before you can fix the problem, you got to diagnose it. Okay, this is the problem right here. So the same thing with us. Before fixing your problems, you have to diagnose your problem. You got to say, okay, you know what, I got an issue right here. This is what I need to work on. And that takes self-examination, examining ourselves daily, man. All right? We must examine ourselves daily. Beautiful. Ephesians 3:16. That he would grant you, according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might by his Spirit in the inner man. Oof. In the inner man. That's what the Lord looks at. The Lord doesn't look at the stature of a man or his outward. The Lord looks at the reins. The Lord tries the reins of your heart, your mind, your la'ab. We got to be renewed daily. But you in that fight alone. It's you, Yahweh, it's you and the Word. You and Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the demons that you fight, you better be slaying demons, man. Demon slayer, man. Anybody can just put a video on and mock the elders and mimic, you know, and be a regurgitator. But then when the cameras go off, who are you, man? Anybody can say they believe. I believe in the Lord. I believe in the nuclear missiles. I believe that we're Israel. But then who are you on the inward? All right. So yeah, you know, the inspiration of this video came from, you know, the Passover's coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're seeing a lot of stuff in the spirit. And my biggest thing is the inner man. You know, really being renewed in the spirit of your mind. Putting on as the elect daily. That's the true sacrifice, man. Walking the path of righteousness, you know. Even with communication, how you talk, how you hold yourself. You got to work on these things, man. But you also got to, you know, also don't beat yourself up. Don't condemn yourself. You know, make sure you're looking at the things that you do right, too. You know? You uplifting yourself. You're confident in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because, hey, guess what? Just like I'm talking about how we got weak points, guess what? We got strong points, too, man. You got to examine your strong points, too. You know? And strengthen those strong points daily. You know? But don't condemn yourself either, man. You know, we all fall short. You fall short daily. And the Lord ultimately is going to have to give us those new bodies at the end of the day, man. But in that, make sure we working daily on our conduct, our speech, you know, and just applying the fruits of the Spirit, man. Because it's more than going to camp. It's more than doing lessons, man. And I'm realizing that day by day, daily. As the times go on, I'm seeing it, all right? It's more than doing videos, man. Right? You're only deceiving yourself if you just doing the bare minimum, man. Alright, so yeah. Lord willing, it was edifying to the hopeful elect. Let's continue to work on the inward, man. Get ready for the Passover. And grow in the grace thereof, man. Alright, so with that, call hello, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Till next time I say shalom.